And this next one is Clark the shark dares to share. Is it important to share?
Yeah.
So let's see if Clark likes to share. This one also is written by Bruce Hale and is illustrated by Guy Francis.
He's like, that's like a Papa by Super.
So she has written on the board, show and share. Show and share, they call it.
Show and share.
Clark the shark loved his school. He loved his teacher and he loved learning, but sometimes Clark got a little mixed up. One marvelous morning, Mrs. Inky Dink told Clark's class, time for show and share.
Show and share. Why was short and tail?
Let's listen. Benny Blowfish went first. He played a song so sweet and sassy that Clark couldn't help but dance his funky shark dance with a hip and a hop and a skiddly widdly wop. Sit down, please, said Mrs. Inky Dink. But I was sharing too, said Clark. Sharing is caring, said Mrs. Inky Dink, and everyone must learn to wait their turn. I get it, said Clark, but he didn't really. At Reading Roundup, Amanda Eelwiggle won a scrumptious prize for reading the most books. Sea Slug Ice Cream. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yum, yum, I want some. That's up to Amanda, said Mrs. Inky Dink. But sharing is caring, cried Clark. Mrs. Inky Dink nodded. Yes, I'm aware, but the giver chooses when to share. Sharing is confusing, said Clark. So did she have to share her ice cream?
No.
She kind of said that giver chooses when to share, so she got to choose. In reef hockey, Clark chose to share his spectacular skills. Hockey is awesome, he roared. Clark front faked and back faked. He stick checked and decked. In the end, Clark did everything but pass the puck. His teammates were cranky. Hey, hotshot, let someone else score, why don't you? Said his best friend, Joey Mackerel. But we all shared the win, said Clark. Coach Krabby scowled. A win's not okay unless we all get to play. Sharing is complicated, said Clark. Are there a lot of rules for sharing?
Yeah.
Sounds it. After school, Clark and Joey Mackerel played Sea Wars at Joey's house. Wow, is that Dark Waiter? Asked Clark. Best birthday present ever, said Joey. Want to play with Fluke Seawalker? Clark really wanted Dark Waiter, but Joey asked him to wait his turn. Then when Joey went to get him a snack, Clark couldn't resist. Must be my turn. It was, after all, the coolest toy ever. Is that a good idea for him to play with it?
Yeah. It's like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker.
Sea Wars rocks, cried Clark. Pow, bam, crunch. Oops. What happened to it?
He smacked him.
What happened to the head?
He pooped.
Oh no. Clark, cried Joey, you broke it. Sorry, said Clark, I was sharing. Joey shook his head. That's not sharing, he said. That's taking and breaking. Clark the shark swam home befuddled and bewildered. He didn't understand sharing at all.
That was weird.
And when he arrived, Clark found he wasn't the only one who didn't get it. Mom, cried Clark, my cap. He borrowed it, he bit it, and now it's ruined. Is his little brother eating his cap?
Ew. That is not a snack.
Teething or no teething, Clark's mother said, that's no way to treat a cap. She told his brother to ask before borrowing, but she told Clark, you have heaps of caps, and if you have a lot, why not share a lot? Look at all of his hats he has. But Clark didn't want to hear it. He swam to his room and sulked up a storm. Does he look happy or sad?
Yeah. Mad.
Mad, you think? Yeah. Sharing is caring, Clark grumbled. It's not taking and breaking. But this only reminded him of what he'd done at Joey's house. Clark's head hurt, as if a big sharky thought was trying to break free. So sharing is waiting your turn, letting everyone else play. The giver chooses when not taking and breaking and giving what you've got a lot of. Sharing was confusing. But, thought Clark, it also might be worth getting it right. Mom, he asked, will you help me bake something? What might he be doing?
Making a cake?
Why would he make a cake?
Because he's a shark cake.
The next day, Clark gave Joey a home-baked krill cake and a great big Sharky apology. I think I'll share this with the whole class, said Joey. Really, said Clark. Really, said Joey. So it says, dare to share. And when Amanda Eelwiggle saw all that cake being cut up, she said, you know what goes well with krill cake? No, what? Said Clark. Sea slug ice cream.
Yeah.
And just like that, she scooped her treat onto everyone else's plate.
And you ate it up. Like seaweed fish.
Clark the shark looked around at all his classmates enjoying cake and ice cream and got a warm, wiggly feeling way down deep inside. What is it, Clark? Asked Mrs. Inky Dink. With a ginormous grin, Clark broke into the sharkiest funky shark dance ever. And this time, all his classmates joined him with a hip and a hop and a skiddly widdly wop. Sharing is sweet, cried Clark the shark.